So Ian, just in terms of the driver experience, what do you see first? You obviously still got a gear lever and a key and stuff. Tell us about it.
Well, really, for the driver, it's exactly the same experience as a petrol car when you first get into the car. You've got a key, you turn just like a regular car, and a gear shift that you operate just like a regular car too. So we wanted to make the experience completely non-confrontational. It'll just be like driving a normal car.
What about steering weight?
Steering weight's very similar to a standard car again.
Okay, and throttle response? Because the engine obviously is a different torque characteristic than a normal engine.
It has. Well, you'll find that out when you drive the car, but we find it's very responsive.
So obviously that's the battery pack for where the engine used to be. So what's all the other stuff at the front?
So these are all the components that were previously driven by the petrol motor.
Right.
So we've got an electrically driven AC compressor,
Yep.
electrically driven power steering pump, and an electric heater. And also down here we've got an electric water pump.
So just in terms of how the weight is distributed, the weight that's replaced the engine effectively is lower in the car. So the centre of gravity would be lower than a standard Commodore.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because underneath here, where the engine and transmission was, we've got the battery. That's the first module in the car, if you like.
Yeah.
And that's a lot lower than the engine and transmission were.
Okay.
And then behind there, where the fuel tank was.
Oh, right, okay. So in fuel tank land there.
Tank land there, we've now got a power electronics module. And then behind there, between the rear wheels, we've got the motor and the gearbox.
Right, okay. So the engine in the back is an electric motor. What sort of output has that got?
So the motor's 145 kilowatts and 400 newton metres, and that gives equivalent performance to the petrol motor that came out.
Right, okay. And response-wise, as soon as you press the throttle, obviously I'll get a feel for when I drive it, but the immediate torque reaction of this sort of engine actually is a really good customer experience, isn't it?
Oh, it is, because electric motors have maximum torque from 0 RPM.
Yeah.
So it's a very instant response, and that's what most drivers notice.
Fantastic. So in terms of customer experience, Ian, you obviously don't have to go back to the petrol pump anymore. Of a night, what do? Then you charge it with this cord?
That's when you connect the cord up and charge it up. So we just take this off, simply plug it in, push it home, and the other end goes into your charge point at your house.
Right. And what about then for longer distances or range that's not chargeable from home? What do you do in terms of change the battery?
Then you can go into a battery switch station, take away the depleted battery and put a freshly charged battery in.
So you drive in and something comes up from under the car, replaces the battery.
All robotically.
And you drive off.
Yes, exactly.
How long does that take?
Less than 5 minutes.
Fantastic.
Better than a petrol station.
Absolutely.